Hello, I'm David Gray. I'm a backpacker, sort of. And this is my 2015 gear. So it's November, kind of the end of the season, so I decided I'd go ahead and wrap it up with a video of my 2015 gear. My first gear video, so if it goes well, there's enough interest in any particular area, I'll go ahead and put together, either answer the question or put together another video on specific gear. This is my gear kit for 2015, my thoughts on gear. I'm not a super ultralight zealot like many backpackers. I consider myself a little bit of a gear junkie. I spend a lot of time researching gear and looking at YouTube videos on gear reviews, and you see what other people use and get ideas for myself. That's where a lot of this has come from. But one thing you got to keep in mind, you are listening to a gear video from somebody who carries 13 pounds of photography camera gear with them. so take it all with a grain of salt. What I'm going to do in this video is really just an overview. I'm not going to get into a tremendous amount of detail about every little piece of gear I have. I will tell you what everything is, the major pieces, just give you the guts of what I carried this year and why. Over here on my right is what's known as the Big Three. Not sure why it's called the Big Three. I think it's because it's the most money you're going to put into these chunks of gear and the most weight. If you're going to try to lighten anything up, you probably want to start with these three. First is your pack, second is your shelter system, and the third is your sleep system, which is really more than one piece of gear. It's actually your sleeping bag and typically your pad. In this chunk, I've got my kitchen food set, my clothes here, my hydration, and what I use in terms of water containers. Now we get into the miscellaneous stuff over on my left. This is my emergency bag. It's got my first aid kit, my headlamp, my duct tape, my Leukotape, my Aquamira tablets, my fire starting kit, all that kind of stuff. Pack cover, I know that's a little controversial. I'll talk about that here in a second. Z-Rest sit pad, very lightweight, very multi-purpose piece of gear. And then another piece of controversial gear, my camp shoes, and I'll talk about that here when I get back to it. Few thoughts on gear. I heard this long ago, but the weight of your pack is basically inversely proportional to your confidence level and your experience. The more experience you gain, the more comfortable you feel out in the backcountry, the lighter your pack becomes. As you're packing for a trip, you'll start throwing a lot of things in just because, what if, or backups, or I'm concerned about, this, or extra pans, extra food, extra whatever. And I highly encourage at the end of each trip, and I do this, think about your gear on that particular trip. What did you use? What was too much? What wasn't enough? And learn from it. Learn from each trip that you go on. Especially what you want to focus on are the things that you've never used. Okay, starting with my pack. I could probably do an entire video on just the evolution of the packs that I've owned. I think I own 5 or 6 packs right now. Got this one this year. This is a ZPacks Arc Blast 52 liter, and I absolutely love it. It's kind of an evolution of 2 or 3 packs that I also liked a lot, Mountain Laurel Design Exodus and an Xped Lightning 45. But the Mountain Laurel Design Exodus with the frameless pack, when I started getting up over 25 pounds, it gets to be a little uncomfortable on longer trips. It just got to the point where I wanted to start looking for something that was a little better with a frame. And one thing this pack has is a frame. It's a carbon fiber frame with these very simple stays. Really quite an ingenious design. And then when I went to the Xped Lightning 45, probably the most comfortable pack I've ever worn, but it did not have this back pouch, and I've learned that I absolutely can't live without this thing. In this back pouch, I carry all of the things that I want to have really ready access to, like the sit pad, my rain gear, some snacks, maps. Anytime I stop, I can just reach for it or have somebody else grab it out for me, so I can't live without that. This thing has it all. Absolutely love it. In terms of my shelters, I use 2. When I go with the dogs, I carry the Nemo Meta 2P. This is my original tent that I bought long ago. Absolutely bulletproof bomber tent. I love it. Problem is, it weighs about 3 pounds. I do not carry it with a bag, put it in a sack of any kind. I just wrap it up like this, throw it in the bottom of my pack. But I have modified it slightly. I've got MSR carbon core stakes. They're extremely expensive. I don't buy them anymore because the Lawson, if you go do a Google search on Lawson equipment, they make a similar stake that weighs almost the same amount that is a heck of a lot cheaper. The ground cloth that came with it I got rid of and just use a polycro ground cloth on this. One of the reasons I carry this with the dogs is it comes, and I do have what's called a paw print, which is an extra floor that protects the base of this thing from their claws. So my other shelter that you saw me use a number of times this year that I carry anytime I'm going by myself, this is a ZPacks Hexamid Solo Plus. And I love this shelter. It weighs in at roughly about, I think 17.7 ounces. Very, very light. But the thing I think I like about it more than anything, well, a couple things. They call it translucent, semi-transparent. I don't know what it is about it, but when you're laying there in the woods and you can look up and you can see the trees and you can see the sunrise or sunset at night, sunrise in the morning, I just love this, absolutely love this tent. Sleep system. My sleeping bag is a Montbell UL Super Stretch number 3, 30-degree bag. This bag is holding up like it's brand new. Excellent bag. My pad, another part of your sleep system, I use a Thermarest NeoAir long, full size. None of this torso length or anything for me. Anything I can do to enhance my sleep is worth every single ounce that I carry. In the controversial area, this is an X-Ped ultralight pillow, large, weighs I think about 3 ounces. I carry a pillow. I've done the thing with the fill a bag up with your clothes, for your pillow. Don't like it, not comfortable, lumpy, not soft, compresses, and when it's super, super cold, where I'm wearing every article of clothing, there goes my pillow. Definitely love this and would never live without it. The thing I added this year, I think it was Chad Poindexter, trail name Stick. I saw one of his videos and he had this and I immediately bought it. I think this is made by Goose Feather Friends or something like that. I can't remember the name of the company. This is a down pillow cover. I think this one weighs 2 ounces. You can get them with various fills. It is made specifically for the NeoAir UL X-Ped large pillows. It is pure luxury. I'm telling you, if you go out and buy one of these, you'll never go back. Okay, getting into my kitchen system. You've seen my Dunkin' Donut coffee episodes. This is the filter I use. It is an MSR drip coffee filter. I've had this forever. This one's beat up, it's cracked, it's broken here. Still works just fine. I keep it in here along with a Ziploc bag of Dunkin' Donuts ground coffee. Also have my titanium long spoon. And you need it long if you're going to be digging it out of freezer Ziploc bags or Mountain House bags. I also carry my some toilet paper in here. Like I said, the lighter to the stove, my spare Aquamira stuff, and the canister fuel. I don't have that in here now, but do not put the stove in here because the stove goes in this guy. My kettle I use, and this is the only cookware I have, is a MSR Titan Titanium 0.9 liter kettle with a lid, and then inside that I have the MSR titanium mug that I use for coffee. I line it all with paper towels. The reason I put it in there is so it keeps the metal from rattling, dampens the sound a little bit. And then inside the mug is my stove, and this is a MSR Micro Light, I think, the smaller one. I think I used to have what was called the Whisper Light, slightly larger, perfectly good stove, still use it. Didn't fit in this kettle. So I wanted this system to be just like this, and so I actually got the smaller stove, which has the added benefit of it's a little bit lighter. The other strange piece of gear people have asked me about that I carry with me now starting this year is this little cozy. It's made by Ham Hock Outdoor Gear, at least that's the little label right here. I bought this on Amazon. I was looking for commercial cozies. Yes, I have made my own from this same sort of material. Never liked them. They were never durable enough. So I went looking for a commercial product. Extremely happy with this. It sits up very, very nicely, and it is the absolute perfect size for a mountain house, and the stuff stays absolutely nuclear hot in here for 100 years. I think it weighs about an ounce, and it's well worth it. Hydration system, I carried, if you saw the California video, carry 5.5 liters. Actually, I carry 6.5 liters worth of containers. This is a 3-liter Platypus Big Zip that I've modified to shorten the hose. This is a hydration bladder that's supposed to go in your pack. I don't ever use it that way. I don't like those, but I do like hanging this from a tree. So what I do is I keep a section of cord long enough for a typical tree or a branch, a ZPacks micro carabiner, so I can clip it on and off. The interesting thing is I carry, the people will question, why do you have a hard-sided Nalgene? Those things weigh about 6 ounces compared to about 1 ounce for a Platypus soft bottle. You're absolutely right. And I tried to go on a trip once where I got rid of this for that very reason, and I went right back to it. A couple reasons why I like this, and I carry this. The markings on the side for the fluid levels are accurate, and I use them all the time to measure out water. And it's a lot easier to dip this down in a stream or a lake or a water source, a spring, and fill this up from it and all my other containers from it. I always carry just one of these. The rest I carry as soft bottles, but that's the thinking there. My clothes, I won't go through all the clothes that I wear. Just in general, all of my base layer tops are smart wool. I'm a wool guy. I'm not a synthetic guy for a lot of reasons. I love what wool does in both cold and hot and wet, and nobody will ever talk me out of it. I always typically carry, I'm on a mountain trip where temperatures are going to range anywhere from sub-30s up to 90. I will carry one micro-weight smart wool t-shirt, or 150 weight, one micro-weight long sleeve t-shirt, which is what this is, and one mid-weight long sleeve shirt, what they call the 250 weight now. If I'm in the Midwest in the summertime, usually I'll just carry a t-shirt because the temperatures are going to range from 70 to 90. The reason I would carry the extra micro-weight long sleeve t-shirt is for rain. I can't stand wearing rain gear with my skin exposed to rain gear. I hate that feeling. So I want a long sleeve, thin shirt to give me a layer of insulation, isolation between the rain gear and my clothing. For pants, I wear Columbia titanium. They don't make it anymore, which is unfortunate. For colder weather, these are Pranas. Absolutely love these, but they're pretty heavyweight for summer and darker. But if I was going to be doing any fall or winter type backpacking, I would absolutely wear these. These are great pants. I absolutely love them. For my down layer, my puffy stuff, I have a Montbell EX Light jacket. I think it weighs in at about 6 ounces. Absolutely love it. It's 900 weight goose down. You've seen me wear it in videos. One of the few things that I carry a backup of, I do carry 2 pairs of socks and 2 pairs of underwear. For underwear, I wear the Ex Officio Lycra boxers. These work extremely well for preventing chafing, so I always wear some sort of boxers now. This is my emergency bag. It's got all of my emergency stuff in it. There's 2 prescription medicine bottles in here. One has Leuko tape wrapped around it. The other has Gorilla duct tape wrapped around it, the black kind. And inside one is my homemade fire starters, which are cotton balls saturated in Vaseline. Incredibly good fire starter. They'll burn for about 2 or 3 minutes. It's just the best fire starter in the world. But also in here is my Petzl E-Light headlamp. This is the greatest headlamp in recorded history. Weighs an ounce. You put it around your head by that thing. Used it forever. I've never even had to replace the batteries in it. It has multiple settings of white light plus red light. Greatest little thing ever. I do carry a fire starting kit, which has waterproof matches, a flint striker kind of thing, plus these little cotton kindling things in addition to the cotton balls. I do carry 3 or 4 ways to light fire, and at least 2 or 3 ways to disinfect water. I'm an Aquamira person. I know everybody's got their own personal preference. Most people are Sawyer Mini people now, and I actually own 3 of them and have carried them on trips. But when the water is going to be good quality, and I know it's going to be good quality like in the Sierras or Glacier, I just prefer the convenience and how quick it is with the Aquamira. If I'm ever going to be in a place like the desert where you're going to get water out of cow tanks or whatever, I would definitely be carrying the Sawyer Mini. So I do use both, and I always carry Aquamira, and you saw me use the Aquamira tablets. You saw me use these in the Sierra Nevada video, and I was darn glad I had them. The Aquamira, for some reason, the A part always goes before the B part. I talked about my Z-Rest sit pad. This thing, I think it probably weighs in 2 ounces, probably not even that, and it's like $15. And I use this thing for everything. I put it in the back of my pack in the pouch. If I stop for lunch or whatever, I'll put it on rocks, I'll put it on trees. You can use it as a ground pad to set things on. If the ground is wet, you can sit on it, you can kneel on it, you can use it as a little doormat outside your tent. Tons and tons of uses. This thing is absolutely awesome. 2 more pieces of controversial gear here. Pack cover. This is a ZPacks Cuban fiber pack cover. Weighs, this is in the 1 ounce range. Most schools of thought on pack liners is you either waterproof your pack on the inside or the outside. On the inside, a lot of people use trash compactor bags. I did as well. Some people use pack covers on the outside. These things aren't nearly as effective as doing something on the inside. I do both. I don't want my gear getting wet, and so I will carry the extra weight of having an external pack cover to keep things from getting saturated, to keep the water off my pack, knowing that this thing isn't 100% effective. And then on the inside of my pack, I used to use trash compactor bags. Work great, best cost you can possibly get. Now I use a very expensive, I think these are $45, ZPacks pack liner, Cuban fiber pack liner, because 2 reasons. It weighs about half of a trash compactor bag, and I don't know what the numbers are. It's seam sealed. They've actually taped the seam so it's completely waterproof, and it's got a Velcro top and a roll top and clips. So it's like a big, huge dry bag. Works fantastically well. Trash compactor bag worked great too, so really had no complaints. This was kind of a luxury upgrade, and I think I bought myself this as a Christmas present. Oh, 1 more piece of controversial gear. Camp shoes. I know, some people will go, what are you wearing camp shoes for? I've gone without them. I've done the foamy Walmart pad with duct tape method that weighed 1 ounce. I've done Crocs. I've done everything. I can't live without camp shoes. The ones I currently use are called unshoes. It's kind of a weird contraption, but I think these things together weigh about 6 ounces. That is a lot, but at the end of a day, especially if it's been a wet day and my shoes are soaked, I got to get out of my shoes. So I pay the weight penalty for these. Just in terms of shoes, I could do a whole nother video on foot gear. I could literally fill this table with the foot gear that I have bought. Keens, Merrells, Salomon's, Brooks, New Balance. I brought them all. So they say, hey, why aren't you using trail runners? I've tried them. They are not as comfortable on my feet as the Keen Voyager. Keen Voyager is what I've used. I've owned about 4 pair of them. It's kind of like one of those shoes I want to hate because they weigh too much and all that. They're actually advertised as an ultralight mid-hiking boot, but they are very heavy, especially compared to trail runners. Tried trail runners, just can't make them work. They don't fit my feet right. My toes, I think the way my shape is, it kind of crunches my toes and I get rubbing on the side. So even though I've tried other things and I continue to try other things, I just keep using the Keens. That's my gear. That's a quick overview of my gear, 2015 gear. I know I haven't gotten into a tremendous amount of detail on anything, but if anybody has any questions, leave them in the comments below. I'll get to them. I'll answer any questions. If there's something that you want me to do a specific gear video on, whether it's packs, I could probably do a great one on pack evolution. Just let me know, and I'll go ahead and put something together. But this is my first gear video. Just wanted to share a little bit of information with everybody. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you got some useful information out of it. My 2015 gear. It was a great season. Hope you enjoyed it.